Tuvok and Harry will go over and investigate. Shouldn't we bring someone else? Usually in a case like this, the least important person dies to prove the situation is serious. That's right. Now, why don't you and your gold shirt step on the pad right next to the chief of security there? There's a few Borg still alive, working on repairing the ship, or in one case, trying to assimilate the thing attached to their ship. 1,000,001, 1,000,002, 1,000,003. They come to discover that for reasons that affect themselves, and Harry has come aboard, and the Borg department has assembled them like this, and has already received a grant from the National Endowment of Parents. They find the entrance to the biomass and figure it's a living ship, and decide to head aboard and check it out, leaving Harry with the job of accessing a Borg data node all by himself. Well, Kes has a premonition that Harry's going to get hurt, just like the audience, so Janeway orders them beamed back, but they can't get a lock. Silly me. I assumed when they said they were going to have a constant transporter lock on them, that it meant the transporter would be locked on them. Who knew that meant it was just rolling the dice and seeing whether or not the fickle whims of fate would let you be saved or turn into modern art by a pink and purple people eater.
I'm going to try a skeletal lock. I think I can get a clean lock on the minerals in their bone tissue.
It's been years since I was a science officer, but don't they need their bones? If I can find their skeletons, I'm pretty sure I can bring the rest of them over too. This sounds really dangerous. Nah, I'll be fine. Critter pops out and takes out some Borg with one blow, then punches Harry in the chest. Well, things could be worse. The alien figures out what's what and hops in its ship to pursue Voyager. Moya nearly takes them out as they make a run for it, but they manage to escape and head for the Northwest Passage. In the meantime, Harry's wound is serious. The alien cells are so malignant that just a few stray cells left behind after the punch have begun consuming his body while he's still conscious. Yes, that's right. They can't sedate him, and there's nothing he can do but lie there, thinking about the inevitable. Still, it's been a good run, right, Harry? Even if it's the end, you can at least spend this time thinking about all that's happened to you in the past 3 years. Previously on Voyager, the crew has flown into Borg space in the hope of reaching a point where there is a safe path through their space. Along the way, they saw an ugly alien who destroyed the Borg, posed the bodies, and for good measure, punched Harry so hard he's dying from the cells left in the wound. There he is, forced to remain conscious, and the only thought going through his head right now is, "This is the third worst birthday I've ever had." Harry's only hope lies in the doctor devising a treatment for something that can resist any type of attack, including medicine, nanoprobes, and Neelix's cheese. But the doctor has discovered a way to change the nanoprobes so that the alien cells ignore them. That way they can get up close and assimilate them, then both die. he doesn't know if he can create enough of them soon enough to save Harry. Further good news is received when they discover that the reason the Borg are staying out of the Northwest Passage is that it's filled with the alien ships, dubbed Species 8472, and they hate everything that's not them. This is when the relationship between Janeway and Chakotay first begins to fracture, because these are two very different people. Chakotay is a Maquis. He knows what it means to face impossible odds. It means that it is impossible, and people die for no reason. As long as you stay alive, you have hope that you can come up with another way to strike back. Janeway, on the other hand, is Starfleet, so with the best traits of humanity working for you, there's always a way to sort out a problem if you work hard enough at it. So while Chakotay is perfectly fine with turning around and trying to come up with some other option, Janeway only sees turning around as giving up. Her principles that stranded them out here ought to be able to get them back home. The only one to help now is Leonardo da Vinci, taking a break from his work on his submarine to think about the screen door. Janeway explains the situation in fairly simple terms, so his conclusion is that they must go to the chapel and pray.
Visit the chapel and appeal to God.
Somehow I don't think that's going to work for me.
Prayer? How ridiculous! I want to go talk to my animal spirit guide. Besides, if I start praying now, the only way I'll ever make it to Earth is if I start spouting horseshit prophecies and a bunch of angelic hallucinations start patronizing me. I'd rather try to get back to Earth in a rowboat. Still, Janeway's always looking for options, so this one is really no surprise.
What if I made an appeal to the devil?
Why didn't I think of that sooner? I've got his email right here in my BlackBerry. Dear Lord of all worms, you might remember I gave you the souls of the people of Omicron Theta to be made a captain and crush all in my path in your name. Janeway's actual plan is to suggest exchanging their passage through Borg space with the Doctor's nanoprobes, which can be weaponized to destroy the aliens. And if there's one thing that proves you're the good guy, it's taking a beneficial medical cure and devising a way to kill people with it. And the best part is that all this is based upon a bullshit premise.
The Borg gain knowledge through simulation, but they can't assimilate, they can't understand.
They have the ability to analyze and adapt, Commander.
But we'll keep moving because there's an even better contradiction in here. Everyone thinks trying to negotiate with the Borg is a huge mistake. Hell, even Neelix thinks it's a mistake, and he's got a diploma from the University of Stupid Ideas. But Janeway insists that she is right and they are wrong. Flashback just 1 year, the episode Alliances, and the whole point was Janeway had been right all along, that forming an alliance would be a bad idea. She even gave a speech about it. It's always great to watch that scene right before watching this episode. I hope you all see I was right in opposing forming an alliance with anyone. Doodly doodly doodly. I hope you all see I was right in forming an alliance with the Borg. And the worst part is, in that episode, she based this on the fact that her allies wanted to annihilate their enemies. And not only is Janeway willing to initiate an alliance with someone who wants to do the same thing, she's hoping the means of securing that alliance will be giving them the very weapon needed to do it. Everyone leaves except her and Chakotay.
There's a story I heard as a child, a parable.
Oh no, not another story. Is this the one where the god of the hornet snot builds an igloo or something? Chakotay tells the old story of the scorpion and the frog, his version uses a fox, that gives the episode its title, that some things just can't change their nature. Now's the ironic part of the title, and the relationship. Janeway adopts a Maquis mindset rather than a Starfleet one. I will give the equivalent of biological weapons away to get what I want. I will negotiate with a malevolent force to get what I want. I will help ensure the subjugation of an entire species to get what I want. Because I'm fighting for what matters to me, and I'll do whatever it takes. Chakotay, on the other hand, adopts the Starfleet attitude. We don't help the Borg assimilate someone just to further our own ends. After all, aren't they stuck out here because Janeway refused to let the Kazon have the means to dominate the Ocampa? She took action in an event that had nothing to do with her to stop domination, and now she's doing the same thing except to help go beyond domination to downright assimilation. And I'm not putting words in anyone's mouth here either.
Maybe helping to assimilate them isn't such a bad idea.
But that's the ironic part. Janeway's nature is, well, supposed to be, one of holding up Starfleet's ideals. That's why they're out here. That's why she hated the whole alliance thing. Now she's working to get home by any means necessary, no